what's really going on when recruiters assess job applicants. Now, for most jobs, it doesn't work how most candidates think. And as a former recruiter who's worked with hundreds of different employers, I'm going to break down exactly what happens behind the scenes. Now, before you jump into the comments section and tell me this is all wrong, I'm not talking about how the hiring system should work. I'm talking about the brutal truth of how it actually works. So let's run through what goes on and then I'll talk about what it means for you. Okay, so truth number one, you're replaceable. You see, most companies will advertise that they're looking for rock stars or unicorns or whatever the trending word is to describe top talent at the time. But that's not necessarily the case. As a former recruiter, I can tell you that less than 10% of applicants ever meet all of the requirements. Now, when you get upwards of 1,000 applicants for a single job, that's a lot of resumes to review and a lot of panning for that gold. So in reality, while employers say these sort of things in public, they just need someone good enough. And as soon as they find that, they stop looking. Yes, that means if your application lands in front of them after they've found a decent option, you may as well be invisible. And the chances are you'll probably get a message that they've decided to go with another applicant at this time. Harsh, yes, but it's reality. Truth number two, employers fear risk more than they want talent. Now, you might think employers want the smartest, the most skilled, or most experienced candidates, but that's not actually what gets you hired. Hiring managers are more afraid of hiring the wrong person than they are excited about hiring the right one. And this all comes down to a well-known psychological principle called loss aversion, which essentially means we all fear loss far more than we desire gains. So for example, in a famous study by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, people were given two choices. Option one was to take a guaranteed $50. Meanwhile, option two was to gamble, where they could win up to $100 or nothing. Now, even though the second option has a higher potential reward, most people chose the safe $50 because they still felt like it was a win. Now, I've seen this play out in the hiring scenario 1,000 times. Employers aren't just looking for the best person, they're looking for the safest bet. They want someone who will listen, do what they are told, and be compliant. So instead of looking for the best person, they look for the least risky person. And yes, being too opinionated, overqualified, or even just too ambitious can make you seem like a risky choice. Crazy, right? And now truth number three. Likability wins over skills. Now, this one may be less of a surprise to you, but just look around at your workplace. Is it the hardest workers that are getting all the promotions or praise from their boss? No, it's typically those who get on best with management. Now, if you've made it to the interview, they already assume you can do the job. Actually, if you've been invited for an interview, they probably want you to get the job just as much as you do. At this stage, they're not judging your skills, they're judging how it would feel to work with you every day. Hiring managers don't want the perfect expert. They want someone they like, trust, and can manage easily. And here's the craziest part. If you spend more time getting them to talk about themselves instead of just selling yourself, they'll walk away thinking you're an amazing candidate without you saying much at all. So what does this all mean for you? Well, now you know the truth about hiring. Here's what you need to know. Speed matters. Apply early, or better yet, reach out directly to the hiring manager and jump the ATS queue altogether. The first strong candidate often wins. And then make yourself a safe hire. Your resume, your LinkedIn and interview should remove any doubt about whether you're the right fit. And then in interview, focus on connection. The more they like you, the more they want to hire you. Ask them great questions, mirror their energy, and remember to make it about them. Yes, I know this sounds like a weird strategy, but most people love talking about themselves and how great they are. So if you can steer the conversation that way, they'll think you performed amazingly. And all of this is exactly what I help people with as part of my Career Growth Accelerator program. So if you're interested to learn more about it, I'll drop a link in the description below. But there you have it. If you want to win this job market, you just need to realize Hiring isn't about being the best, it's about being the most obvious choice. Now you know the truth about hiring, tell me in the comments, what surprised you most? Was it the fact that likability matters more than skills, or that employers are really just looking for that least risky choice? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it.